Welcome to Amazing Discoveries! Remember that guy with the glasses? He was really funny and just so geeky. Anyway, I digress. Hi guys, how's everyone doing? Good, I hope. I wanted to do this video. It's coming towards the end of the year. We're not there just yet. We are still in November, but the end is nigh. So I wanted to do a video, I've never done this before, about 5 discoveries I've made this year and 5 disappointments. 5 fragrances that I've been so happy to discover and I fell in love with and are now either on my want list or I have them. And 5 things that when I smelled them, I had a lot of expectation and I was just a bit disappointed. So yeah, let's just do it. So I'm going to do 1 disappointment and then 1 discovery, 1 disappointment and then 1 discovery, just so it just kind of flows a bit better and doesn't end on a massive high or a massive low. I'm going to do a disappointment first, okay? The first fragrance that I found quite disappointing this year, and I don't want anyone to shoot me down, it was Gabrielle by Chanel. The reason I think this was a disappointing fragrance for me, by the way, I'm not saying that I hate it, I think it smells nice. I reviewed it and I told you guys what I thought of it quite honestly. Go and check it out if you care to. The reason I think I was disappointed is because, like a lot of people, there is a lot of love out there for Chanel, as well as hate, but there is also a lot of expectation when they release a new fragrance. They have their exclusives line, which for me have also been hit and miss. But Gabrielle was the first addition in about 15 years to their main line of fragrances. It's named after the entire founder, it's named after, you know, Coco Chanel, her name is Gabrielle if you don't know already. And I think there was just a lot of expectation from it. The reason I'm putting this in my disappointed category is because I felt like it was slightly lackluster. It was pretty, it was floral, it was wearable, it was citrus, but it was missing for me that Chanel magic. I can see what they were going for. It is a very elegant fragrance, but when a fragrance claimed to showcase 4 flowers, and the 4 flowers in the heart were supposed to be represented by each corner of the bottle, and the facets sort of went into the middle of the bottle. You can see it here anyway. They weren't all showcased, so I don't like it when a fragrance overpromises and underdelivers, and that is why Chanel is my first disappointment of the year. So on to a discovery. Positive things, good vibes people, good vibes. 1 discovery that I was really blown away by this year is Camel by Zoologist. Given I have smelled 4 new fragrances from Zoologist, I've actually smelled all of them, but this one is the one that I feel has taken the cake. When I sprayed this, I instantly loved it. I feel like I said in my review also, reviewed it guys, go and check it out. I said that this is the Zoologist that I've been waiting for. It fits this kind of style of fragrance that I really like. It's got lots of dried fruits in it, it feels exotic, it's got lots of resin, so you feel like you're in a Moroccan market or just out in the desert on a trade route or something like that. This one was really good, it still is really good, and I don't want to finish my 10ml spray that I have. It's kind of incensey, dry, fruity, brown tones to it, and yeah, definitely one of my most favourite discoveries of this year so far. I won't be discovering anymore, I'm not doing any more stuff. No. This nose has had enough. Not really. So the second disappointment of mine, and this is a big one. There's a company called Roja Dove, I'm not even sure how you pronounce it, I think it's Roja Dove. This brand gets so much love and so much hype in the fragrance community. People just give such glittering reviews of their fragrances. They are very pricey. You're talking £245 for a 50ml, £345 for the parfum, the pure parfum. And I've actually smelled 2 of them. The other one I can't remember what the name of it was because it was totally boring and I was going to review it, but then I thought I can't even be asked. Sorry, I'm just being frank here. But the one I tried recently was called Scandal. What on earth is going on with them charging that much money? I'm really sorry, I just have to be frank, because I've smelled fragrances from Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab that smell like this Scandal fragrance that are 10 times stronger, 10 times richer, 10 times better, and about 100 times cheaper. So when I smelled it, you know, I thought it was going to be really cool. It was a tuberose fragrance, a white floral. I expected this heady rush of amazingness. and it was very flat and kind of watery, and just really made me surprised. I think what you're paying for with Roche Dove is that the little jewels in the top of the lid. I've only smelled 2 of them. I hope maybe I've just smelled 2 bad ones, I don't know. You have to give brands a lot more chance. I will be going to the Roche Dove Raja shop really soon, so I'm gonna smell a lot more, but that was a massive disappointment for me considering I'm a tuberose lover. The next discovery that I made, I never would have made if it wasn't for my best friend Michelle. Last 3 or 4 times that I've been to see her, she smelled amazing. She smelled like she just got out of a shower. She smelled clean and interesting, not just a normal fresh shower smell. She just smelled very, very nice. So I had to ask her what it was, and it was this, Jean Paul Gaultier Intense. One of the newer flankers of this fragrance, which to me smells absolutely nothing like the original. So I had to get it straight away. It's one of my favourite fragrances I've smelled this year. I reviewed it also. I don't need to say that, I will just, you know, you can check them out. No, I will say it actually, I will remind you. But yeah, this one, it's kind of almost like coconutty powdery, but really fresh as well. It's quite warm. It's quite a difficult one to describe, and I remember in my review having a bit of trouble trying to describe this one to you guys, but that one is lovely, and it's definitely on one of my favourite discoveries of this year. The next disappointment is Gucci Bloom. I did really want to review that for you guys, but I haven't managed to get my hands on a sample of it yet or anything like that. I've just sprayed it on myself a couple of times in shops, so I haven't been able to review it, but it probably wouldn't have been the most positive of reviews anyway. Again, this is only personal to me. I'm a tuberose lover, so I'm always seeking out new and interesting tuberose fragrances. Michael Kors used to be my signature. Carnal Flower is in my top 10 fragrances ever by Frederic Malle. I actually even liked Kim Kardashian's first fragrance because it was quite tuberose heavy. And Gucci Bloom to me smells like Kim Kardashian's fragrance. And also one by Christina Aguilera called Inspire. It's quite expensive, Gucci Bloom, and I mean the packaging's gorgeous and all of that, but the smell to me was quite underwhelming. It smelled quite synthetically tuberosy, and I think the disappointment comes down to the fact that I've already got a couple of tuberose fragrances in my collection that I adore. This one just wouldn't fit in. I wanted it to be more multifaceted, so that's why it's in my disappointment list. Sorry guys! The next one is probably my most favourite discovery that I've made this year, and I only made it 2 weeks ago. I went to Bloom Perfumery in Covent Garden and was shown a line of fragrances called Jardin d'Écrivains. I can't even pronounce it. It means the garden writers or something like that. There's a fragrance they have in their line called Junkie, and it's spelt J-U-N-K-Y, not I-E, not like a junkie. And when I smelled it, it was one of those instant love smells that you just can't get out of your head. It's got a really interesting composition. It has hemp in it, which is quite unusual, but it actually smells kind of clean and fresh. I absolutely love it. I bought a sample, I've worn it a few times, and it's now definitely on the top of my want list. And it's just nice to discover an out of the blue brand that you've never heard of before, and then to smell something that blows you away so quickly. That's what makes an amazing discovery to me. I sound like that program. Welcome to Amazing Discoveries! Remember that guy with the glasses? He was really funny and just so geeky. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, Junkie by Jardin d'Écrivains it's called, and I will be getting that soon, and there probably will be a review coming out of that one. Definitely. So the next disappointment for me, this is my 3rd disappointment now. This one might surprise a few people, but I will explain myself, and it is Aura by Terry Mugler. Now, don't confuse disappointment with hate. I do not hate this fragrance, I do actually like it. I have been wearing it a bit recently. Look, I've used that much of it now that it's colder. This one, again, was a disappointment because it comes down to expectation. It's all about managing your expectations, people. I can't stress that enough. Being a big fan of Mugler, being that the house has released such stellar and popular and I guess you could say groundbreaking fragrances to the mass market in the past, the expectation of this was so high for me. Very, very high. Angel, I think, is amazing. If you hate it or love it, it was the first ever kind of gourmand patchouli craziness that just took off. Alien, with its 3 notes but still smells amazing. Womanity, love it or hate it, it was the first fragrance, I think, to use caviar. You know, it was just unusual in many ways, and still really cool. Aura, big expectation for this, and when I smelled it, I just felt a slight sense of deflation. I like it, like I said, I do like it. I am getting to know it more. I like the strange medicinal greenness of it. It's very sweet though, and I just think that, reviewed it by the way, I think this is my own fault. I'm disappointed for my own reasons because I wanted more from it. I don't think it holds a candle at all to Angel or Alien or Womanity. But yeah, so sorry Mugler. But Aura was one of my disappointments this year, although I still like it. The next discovery I want to tell you about is, if any of you guys watched my recent videos where I went perfume sniffing in London, I pretty much went on about this one quite a bit. I was walking through Selfridges and one of the salespeople sprayed something on me, on a card, and handed it to me as I was walking past, and I was thinking, no, I don't want to smell that, I want to do my own thing, leave me alone, as us perfumistas often do in shops, right? But I held on to the card anyway, and I held it with me all day, and it's called Use Abuse by a company called Juicebox. The fragrances are all based on music in some weird way or another. The bottles have little records as the lids. They come in 78 mils, which is a very unusual amount, but it's something to do with 7.8 or a 78 record, or someone might know. I don't know much about records because I've never really owned any. This fragrance stuck with me all day, and also it stayed on the card for a week, which really tells me that there's something special going on there. I can't explain it. I really can't explain what was in it. I don't really know, but I'll put the notes on this side just as I'm talking so you can figure it out and just see what you might think. But it was just really cool. They're quite expensive, unfortunately. I looked them up and I went, oh gosh. But I will eventually get it at some point. I wish it was 100 ml, but it isn't. But that one was really cool, and now I'm very intrigued about smelling the rest of the line. Use Abuse by Juicebox, which I guess is kind of a play on words with jukebox. The next disappointment was really surprising to me. This was something that I'm actually going to do a review on this one, and it won't be very positive. However, I'm going to talk about it anyway. Thank you first of all to Peter, who sent me this. He sent me so many beautiful Guerlain fragrances, but this was the one I was most intrigued by and have been for a while. And this is the one that I pulled out and put on my skin straight away. It's called Encens Mythique d'Orient, so mythical oriental incense. Gobsmacked. The reviews of this are glittering. The reviews say that this is amazing, it's an oriental. Everything in this sounded like it was going to be absolutely perfect. It is actually vile, and my brain is so confused as to why this smells the way it smells. And I would love to hear from you guys if anyone's got this or owns it, or if it sings on their skin. This is horrible. It's so bad. This smells to me like the sea. That there is a really large amount of ambergris in this. The one positive thing to come out of this fragrance is that I now know what ambergris smells like properly, because I've smelled it in small amounts. This has a large amount of ambergris in it, and it smells like dirty seawater with sugar, and it smells a little bit like wet dog, and it makes my stomach turn a little bit. It reminds me of, in a very weird way, Secretions Magnifique by Etat Libre d'Orange, which is probably one of the most vile fragrances I've ever smelled. Guerlain, what is going on? Where is the incense? Where is the oriental feeling? Where is the mystery? This smells like dirty seawater, and I'm going to leave it there. So the final discovery that I made this year, which has gone straight onto my want list, is a fragrance by Amouage. It's called Dia Woman, or Dia Woman. Dia, it means light in Arabic, so I'm told by one of my subscribers. This one, to me, feels like a much more luxurious version of Dolce & Gabbana Red Cap. It has a lot of sparkly aldehydes in it. After I reviewed it, after I wore it a few times, it just went straight onto my want list, and it's really hard to put Amouages on your want list because they are really pricey. But, you know, if you love a fragrance that much, why not? It's not a new fragrance, it's been out for a while, but it's new to my nose. So that's my final discovery. It's lovely, it's the brown bottle, there's a picture here, reviewed also, for the record. And yeah, that's kind of it. I just wanted to do a little video of a few, you know, I don't really like to do negative things about fragrances, which I do understand that a lot of people in the fragrance community don't necessarily respect so much. You know, a lot of my reviews are positive because I only review things that inspire me in a good way. But I think from now on I might start doing some negative reviews, but it's never fun. I don't like to be a negative person. So anyway guys, I hope you like this video. It's just something a little bit different. I'm Matt click my logo down there to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon for more videos. Goodbye.